Well, another rather sullen day on the markets. Earlier I spoke to Martin Lakos from Macquarie Private Wealth. Martin Lakos, a bit of a local market sell-off. How much was that due to a renewed China focus?
It was almost a groundhog day today, where we had the market reasonably steady through the morning's trade, Tiki, and this afternoon we saw a pretty heavy sell-off. Very much so, the focus was coming out, news out of China, with their inflation number heading towards 4%. But probably more importantly, the Chinese authority looking to try and stem hot money going into their property market once again. Now, we certainly would view this in the medium term as very prudent by the Chinese authorities in terms of wanting to maintain sustainable growth between 8 and 10%. And they're certainly trying to clamp down on this hot money going into the property market that might actually push some imbalances on that Chinese economy. So the market didn't really like that news straight up. It was down 50 points at one stage, pretty much across the board, with the materials, financials and the energy stocks in particular the big underperformers.
Now, to a couple of specific stocks, Qantas actually rallied despite this $12 million fine from the European Commission. So does that mean its cartel behaviour is pretty much old news?
Yeah, look, I think that cartel behaviour issue is old news. It was actually first arose in 2006, so I think it's well within the marketplace. But probably more importantly, two bits of news came out that probably overrun that. One was that Singapore Airlines came out with a very strong result, both in terms of numbers and capacity taking place, and even more importantly, out of the US, Priceline, the second largest online travel bookings agency, has come out with fourth quarter earnings estimates that's beating analysts. So it may well be the travel industry is in for a reasonable run, certainly over the next quarter.
Now, rare earth company Lynas has jumped ahead 7.5%. Something about a deal with a new European customer?
Yeah, look, Lynas actually has been running very hard over the last couple of months. There's certainly been a view that China, once again, is not only importing the likes of iron ore and coking coal and energy, but also looking at rare earths for a whole range of industries. And Lynas is definitely in that space. They didn't disclose who their new customer was or the size of the contract, but certainly the market liked that. And the stock closed up at 135.5, up nearly 7%.
And share registry company Computershare had its AGM today. What was the message to shareholders?
Yeah, look, the share price didn't actually react favourably to it, but they did say that the guidance they'd previously given was well and truly in line. They are certainly seeing some good activity in Asia, and that's clearly the growth for Computershare in terms of what they're operating in Hong Kong. They really want to see some more M&A activity, they commented on, although they think there's things in the pipeline not yet coming through. And certainly with takeover activity, that will help to boost earnings for Computershare over the next several months. So it's certainly one that is leveraged to improving stock market conditions.
Martin Lakos, thanks again for talking to Late Line Business.
Always a pleasure, Tiki. Thank you.
To the other major movers on the local share market, the big four banks were all down, with National Australia Bank the worst, losing 1.4%. Gold miner Newcrest fell 2.5%, along with precious metals' overnight fall. Woodside Petroleum slid again. The fact that Shell's stake was sold on the market and at a discount, suggesting there'll be no takeover for now. And the Warrnambool Cheese and Butter Factory Company surged 10% after confirming Bega Cheese will take a 15% share in the operation. Turning to currency markets, the dollar briefly slipped below parity overnight on a greenback rally, but has settled back above 1 for 1 by today's close. On to the commodity markets, and in New York, oil is down a little, gold is below $1,400 an ounce, and metal prices are down on weaker Chinese imports.